Hello, and welcome to the In It to Win It podcast with your host, Pretty Predictions. Today, we have one of the biggest, best social media influencers and content creators, but even better, he is one of the biggest Philadelphia Eagles fans on the planet, EROCK. We have EROCK in the house today.
Well, thank you very much. That was a very flattering introduction, and I always appreciate talking birds, so I appreciate you having me on.
Welcome. So happy to have you here. I know you were very busy, so thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you very much.
Not a problem.
We connected leading up to the home opener.
Yeah.
It was so great. We had everybody there from Vegas and the West Coast, and it was a great time. It was, the tailgate crawl. And so we connected on sports. Mm-hmm. That's why we're here. Mm-hmm. So the synopsis, basis of the program and show is that it's kind of a feel of everybody connects, it seems like, back to sports. That's why we had EROCK on today, because he seems to be in it to win it for sure.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
Yes. Welcome. Lots of your fans would love to know more about you. Mm-hmm. I am one of them as well.
Oh.
So we would like to take a little bit of a deep dive, kind of where's EROCK from? Were you born in the area? Mm-hmm. Anybody who follows you knows if EROCK's not at the link, he's at the beach.
He's at the beach. Yeah, no, I live out in New Jersey, out in Hunterdon County.
Okay.
My grandparents grew up the original Eagles fans in the family. They grew up in Trenton. Back in the day where you could wake up on a Sunday, right? And just kind of roll over and be like, hey, you want to go down to Franklin Field and pay your 25 cents or whatever it might be for a game ticket, 50 cents? You can't do that anymore, obviously. But they started it, and they raised my mother and my uncle to be Eagles fans. And shout out to all the Lady Eagles fans out there. I didn't learn the game of football from my father. I learned the game of football from my mom.
Oh, wow.
And how to be an Eagles fan and be passionate about it. So I learned that from her.
Awesome.
My father, his family is like off the boat Italian, so football to them was soccer. Although he was a drummer. And he was one of the original members of the Eagles drum line.
Okay.
And did that for 10 years. So he was actually at the Super Bowl party for Super Bowl 52 with the team and everything, and texting me photos at 3 a.m. like, who's this? Who's that? Who's this? Who's that up on stage? Dad, that's Cardi B. It's okay. So we're a football family. You can set our watches to it. That's how we connect and continue to connect.
Great. So you were born into it. So that was going to be another question. Where along the way did you get your love for the birds?
No, I got pictures of me in high chairs with Eagles bibs.
I love that.
Like as a baby, and I did it to my own kids. Where you dress them up as little Eagles fans and you prop them up on the pillows and the couches and you kind of
exactly.
All right, 1, 2, 3, and you put your hands up hoping they don't tip over and stuff like that. So
Same.
My kids were born into it as well.
Very nice, very nice. So, a lot of the things, basically the love for the birds and different things with your foundations and events and the social media. Let's kind of take a step back and start with the social media. And so how did you get into that? I think that's what a lot of fans would like to know. Is it something where you woke up one day and you were like, you know what? I'm going to just start doing all this content. Or was it something where you kind of got started and was like, wow, I really have a big following in this?
No, it was, I get ideas in my head and then I can't rest until they're purged.
Right.
Most of them are bad. Most of them are just straight up terrible ideas, but at least I purged the idea of it. And I hit kind of a rough spot in my mid-20s where I was out in Jersey. Things weren't going right. Life wasn't exactly going the way I wanted it to. So I moved to Philly. I figured, all right, I'm gonna instead of being a big fish in a little pond, I got to straighten things out. I got to kind of figure out my life. And so I moved to Philly and just kind of locked myself in an apartment and was like, hey, listen, which I would encourage anybody to do. Never be scared to go out and try to figure things out and take a accountability, look in the mirror and try to figure things out for yourself.
Agreed.
And in the process of just having a lot of tough conversations with the guy in the mirror, I was alone and didn't know anybody, and I loved the Eagles, and that's really all I knew of Philadelphia. So I was like, I'm just going to start talking birds in front of a camera. And I went out to Best Buy the next day and I bought a laptop and I bought a camera. And that was back when like your fan-based social media offering was like me and 4 other dudes on YouTube.
Wow.
There was no TikTok, there was no Instagram, there was no Twitter, there was no other social media platforms. Like YouTube was just starting to pop off.
Okay.
And so it was an idea. It was probably the best idea I ever came up with. And I just stuck with it because that was my creative outlet. And I also just wanted to, back then, like it's not, the tailgate is all over the reels, right?
Right.
You see it on TikTok. You see it, like game day culture.
Yes.
If you weren't there, you didn't know about what was happening there. And that was such an integral part of my upbringing that I wanted to be like, guys, look at this. This is so cool. This takes up so much of my time. I put so much energy in. Look at how great this is. Look how much
you
fun
wanted
we're
to
having.
Bring it to the audience
Right.
so people could
so people
experience.
in California could be like, oh, that's what's going
Right.
on. So that was kind of like the mission statement in the beginning. And then it just kept kind of evolving and evolving. And I'm not the biggest content creator. I'm not the best content creator. I'm not the funniest content creator. I'm not the content creator with the most followers. But when the sun came up on this thing of ours, I was there to see it for the first time.
Yeah.
So I was there first.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. I mean, I watched, we all do all of your content. One
Thank
of my
you.
favorites is, I think, the Bird Fellas.
Ah, that was fun. That was fun. Yeah,
that's
me and Bobby.
amazing. I mean, do you have one that kind of stands out that you just always go back to, or like one or two that's one of your favorites?
The Bird Fellas was like my magnum opus.
It's amazing. It's the
Dom
best.
makes an appearance. He never does that. I was told just recently at the home opener this year that like Dom reached out to Dave O and was like, hey, should I do this? I don't know. And he's like, just do it, man. People are going to love it. I don't think I'll ever get better than that from a creative standpoint. As long as that was a year's worth of shots right at the end.
Wow.
Yeah. So it took me all year to kind of get the right shots to put that together. But that's the challenge. That's the chase.
Right.
I just did one on the field. I had to do with Jalen Hurts. We won the effing game. So you kind of connect the dots and you make this content and then you hope it resonates. And if it resonates, it goes well.
So a lot goes into creating the content, and I mean,
a lot of dumb ideas. Just
but
head.
they're great.
Yeah.
I mean, they come out and then they shine, and people just love them. I mean, for sure.
But that's the thing too. Like I won't put something out there unless I'm inspired. Like I'm not pumping out content because this is my full-time job. This isn't my full-time job. This is still a hobby.
I was going to ask you that. So is that your only job, or do you have
I have a 9 to 5 just like everyone else out there. I don't want to put it out there, but
thank you for sharing that, because these are burning questions.
Yeah, no, and I never wanted to put myself in a position where my ability to feed my kids, or I just gave this advice to 302 Birds because he was like, sorry if I'm putting you out there, but he was like, I'm getting pissed just working at my job. I want to make this a full-time job. I want to make this content thing a full-time job. And I'm like, man, you're thinking about it all wrong. Like you're in your 20s now, and you're full of piss and vinegar. Go get it, man. If you can achieve, Brandon Walker now is working for NFL Films. Like some of the guys that I saw on the come up or helped guide them on the come up, like they're actually doing big things. It doesn't work out for everybody. It didn't work out for me. So long term, when you get older, don't put yourself in a position where your ability to put a roof over your kids' heads is dependent on the amount of likes you get.
Right.
Or the amount of engagements that you have. Oh, Sonny, sorry, honey, I couldn't pay the electric bill. I didn't have enough hearts on TikTok. Nah, dude.
Or monetization.
Right.
Well, in this world today, it's super hard because I feel like the kids and everybody's growing up thinking that that's just the way of the world and the way to make money.
Nah.
And so, and everybody looks up to people like you and everyone else because,
People think this is my full-time job.
Eric, I could see why. Yeah. Because I was going to say, what does, a day or a week look like for you?
Shit.
I mean, what goes, I'm just saying, because you're also being pulled As far as like collaborations,
Mm-hmm.
people, so we got the collaborations. People want to collab with you, they want to create content.
Mm-hmm.
Then we have, you're always the merchandise and the memorabilia. And so things that go into promo and TCL and ads for
Yeah, yeah,
TVs. And
yeah.
so, if you could maybe just touch on that a little bit in terms of like, do people reach out to you regularly and say, hey, Rock, like, let's collab on this, let's make stuff, or I want you to advertise this, or
Yeah, I'm as a content creator, you got to be really careful who you collab with and who you partner with. I feel like sometimes certain things, like you have your best interest in mind. Not everyone has your best interest in mind, and a lot of people, I don't know how to phrase this correctly, want something from you. So you have to be very careful with who you collab with, but at the same time, like that's how you grow your audience. And that's how, like I have people, you see me collab with Fit Dad all the time.
yes,
My boy Prime from Fourth and John, which is a podcast I helped start. He was just with me. And so you have your kind of circle that you trust. Bobby with
yeah,
Bird Fellas, Bobby's such a sweetheart.
right,
He's such a great guy. And so, and then with the brands thing, like I don't actively market myself. I just kind of sit back and if an opportunity comes,
right.
I hear it out. If it doesn't seem like it's worth my time, I politely decline. If somebody like TCL comes around and it's a good deal, I'll 100% take it. But I don't like advertising stuff.
Okay.
I don't like I want my content to be like the the reason I want my content to be the reason that you follow me, which is funny reels and keeping up on the birds and seeing what's happening during game day.
And the other stuff is just kind of
And the
like
other stuff, like, listen, if I could
secondary.
sprinkle that in and make a couple bucks on the side as a hustle, like, okay, great. But this will still always be a passion project first and foremost and always.
But that's what makes it so great.
But that's what makes it genuine.
Yes, and
Yeah,
because you're passionate
yeah.
about it. Do people recognize you, obviously, when you go out to the store and things like, they're like, oh, it's E-Rock.
No, actually, where I'm from, very rarely, which is
Okay.
nice because you can be just
Yourself.
you could just be a guy. You can be
Yeah,
Dad.
yeah.
You could be Eric.
Yeah. I would think a lot of people would recognize you. And,
When I'm in Philly, yeah,
yeah.
it does happen quite a bit, and it's always very flattering. And I always try to give people my time and ask them. People want to ask a million questions. I always try to ask them, like, "What's your opinion on the Jalen Carter thing? What's your opinion on Hurts? What's your opinion? How'd you feel? Where'd you watch the Super Bowl?" And just try to make people feel special because at the end of the day, they just want to like express their love of the birds, and
Exactly.
I'm here for it.
Right. Yeah, they look
Yeah.
to you because you're the icon of that to express for the birds.
Yeah.
So some of the, I'd like to talk about the events
Yeah.
and like, you mentioned the Eagles Autism Foundation and,
Mm-hmm.
what other type of foundations or charities, do you take part in, or how could people maybe get involved? I know on your page there's, links and things like that,
Yeah.
but maybe you could just speak a little bit about that. Anytime you have things that are near and dear to you or to somebody who's going through it or has somebody that they can share that experience,
Yeah.
I think it's very important. And so, Philly goes hard for sure, in doing things like that.
I've always supported the Eagles Autism Foundation first and foremost because if it means that much to Jeffrey Lurie, it means something to me. If it's important to him, it's important to the organization. It's important to me. And if you haven't gotten involved in the Eagles Autism Foundation, just sign up and literally participate in one of the greatest Eagles events of the entire year. The Eagles make it worth your while to participate and fundraise. The minimum to do the walk or run, truth be told, this is a annual thing for me. The knees ain't what they used to be. So I'll walk and then I'll hop the fence and then I'll pretend like I'm running back and everyone cheers. It's a whole thing. I do it on the Instagram story every year. So I cheat. I cheat at the Eagles. There it is. It's out. I cheat at the Eagles Autism Challenge run. I don't actually do the
You heard
entire
it
thing.
here.
Yeah. So, but I go back inside. I get myself a soft pretzel, and we have a lot of fun. But it's $350 minimum fundraiser.
Okay.
So $350, you can probably go around your job and or go around school or go just lemonade stand. And it is literally one of the, like, it's you, and then you can bring your child to walk with you for free. You meet the Eagles players, you get autographs. It's so important to them that they make the event so worth your while. Why wouldn't you fundraise?
Why wouldn't you
Why wouldn't you
participate?
participate in this?
Exactly. That's awesome. And so, two things, to kind of circle back on. So, your kids, number one. So, what do they think about dad and, just being bigger than life and out there like this?
I don't know how she's 15, and my daughter, so I don't know how she feels about it.
Yeah.
I don't know if any of her friends.
Oh, I'm sure they do. I'm sure they know
It's,
you
it's a
are.
different demographic, though. They're talking
Yeah.
about like Skibbity, Ohio, like just stuff I'm sure I'm not in their algorithm, Yeah, my daughter's kind of chill on it. My son loves to get involved.
I can see, yeah.
He's always pitching me video ideas when I come across, because, like, listen, this is the way I was raised, going to the games, going to the tailgates from a very young age. And my son thinks he's a star, and he is a star, and it's adorable to
He's
say.
great.
He's great.
No, he is. He gets right in there. He's awesome.
I remember one time we were fishing. We were just having a father-son fishing thing, and we were down in Seaside, and we hit up a Wawa on the way home because he was hungry. And somebody recognized me and, stopped, and we talked about the birds and snapped a picture, and he wanted to be in the picture. And we're walking to the car, and my son goes to me, Dad, we can't go anywhere without getting recognized. And I'm like, you know what, son, that's because of you. So he's all excited to participate. He's into the games. He's hitting that like magical 10-year-old age where it's not just like, hey, I'm just happy to be here. He's starting to like ask questions about the game and trying to wrap his head around it. And I remember when I was his age, I was doing the same thing. Like you hit that 4th, 5th grade, and all of a sudden you're trying to understand what's going on.
Yeah, get a better
not
grasp,
just watch.
understanding.
By the time he's in high school, like, listen, eventually I'm going to have to pass this goofy internet bullshit to somebody. So it might as well
He's
be
ready.
Yeah, he's ready.
Sounds
he's
like
ready.
he's
yeah,
like,
he's in grooming.
I'm
so.
in line.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
great, though. That makes it fun, and that's
It
something
does.
you can
It
do
does.
with your son. And
Yeah. It's fun to have a tag team partner now.
Yeah,
that's into it.
Exactly. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And then as far as the players, so we see the players come to the events and things like that, and so you've obviously met a lot of the players, and so that's a cool side of your gig here.
Yeah.
And so what's I don't know, some of your memorable, like something that really stands out to you with one of the players and one of the events?
One of the Eagles autism events. I decided to participate in the bike ride. Not my gig, huge mistake. And then to be goofy about it, I got one of those like lowrider West Coast chromed out, and I had the Eagles green seat, and just being extra, just doing everything I do, just being extra with it. And then Jalen Hurts came up and was like, sick bike, and I'm like, oh, thanks. He's like, you bringing that to the tailgate? And I was like, because for somebody to refer to it as the tailgate, they're usually talking on my social media or my tailgate or something. You bringing that to the tailgate? And I looked at him, I go, you know about the tailgate? And he's like, yeah. I was like, well, you should stop by sometime. He's like, I would, but I got work. And so we took a picture. But it was just funny because he's like, I would, but like, I got work.
That's pretty cool.
So yeah, he was a really cool guy.
That's very cool. So, like, a couple of quick things, like, what's your favorite uni? Are you a Kelly Green guy? Are you?
Yeah. Which I completely understand. Like, if you didn't grow up with it, like the pushback on the Kelly Green. I've heard people like push back. Well, we didn't win anything in that. Yeah. It's all about when you were a kid and when you fell in love. Like, listen, at some point, this team is going to move away from the current uniform that they have now, which they've had in place since 1996. Like, there have been, look at the Buffalo Bills and how many uniform updates they've had since. Look at the Arizona Cardinals, Minnesota Vikings. They've had update after update, and we've stayed consistent since 1996. Eventually, the uniform that y'all fell in love with, the midnight green, we're going to move on to something else. And you're going to hold that midnight green. Oh, remember back in the day when it was, Jalen Hurts and Nick Foles. Oh, that was my child. Like, you're going to have fond memories of that. Just like the way I have fond memories of the Kelly. I'm a Kelly Green
You're a
guy,
Kelly Green guy.
obviously.
I like the. I mean, it's good. I like the black on, but I like when we show up with the whole black.
All black?
Oh
Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
yeah. That's very
You know what's the
stunning. It
sneaky
stands
best
out.
look in the NFL, in my opinion?
What?
And yeah, I'm biased, but I honestly think the white on whites.
Okay,
With the
I
green
don't hate
lettering,
it. Yeah,
and the white wing. Just for the midnight green to be the accent and not the focal point, I think is powerful.
I think it's contrast, right? And
Yeah.
it's like you see everybody out there in the field, and I mean, there's some unis that just stand out, and some that you're like,
Yeah.
why?
Yeah.
Why? You
Exactly.
know, things like
Exactly.
that.
Yeah.
So, some little quick hitter I would like to know personally myself as well.
Mm-hmm.
Like where were you for the first Super Bowl? Were you at the state? Did you go to the Super Bowl?
Yeah.
Where were you?
I was just telling somebody about this
Okay.
at the stadium. So the first Super Bowl, when I was living in Philly, the Phillies won the World Series, and so that was the first championship I ever saw. That was the first championship a lot of us ever saw or can remember. So there was a lot of climbing the poles and just flooding Broad Street. What do we do? I don't know. This is our first time. What do we do? I don't know. Let's just party and shut down Broad Street. And so I said to my mother, hey, listen, if the Eagles ever go to the Super Bowl, we're not going to the game. We have to be in Philadelphia. And then week 6, I think we played the Panthers that year. Called mom up after the game. It's a Thursday night game. And I said, yeah, remember how we said, like, if we better stay in Philly? It's time to put down a deposit on a bar because we're going. She's like, you sure? I'm like, I'm willing to bet $3,000 on it. So that's what we did. We put down a deposit rented out a bar on just a whim.
Wow.
And we had the place to ourselves. So it was
That's
us and like
super
100 of our
cool.
friends. Yeah.
I love that.
And then we partied on Broad Street. The Arizona one, I was like, all right, now that I've seen it at home, I want to see it. Plus, there's a Rihanna concert at halftime. Like, what? How can you
Right.
say no? So I went out to Arizona, and I always felt some sort of way about that Super Bowl because I was away from my family. It broke my heart. And obviously, the way the game ended broke my heart. But now that they got Super Bowl 59 and got their lick back and got their revenge, I don't look at that Arizona Super Bowl so much as a bad thing, as more or less like, oh, I got to watch the Jalen Hurts villain origin story. Like I got to see that arc where his villain arc,
Right.
or our hero arc, villain to the rest of the league, where it's like, oh, I got to see in person why he kept that as a screensaver. I got to see in person what motivates him. I got to see in person why it was so dominant the next Super Bowl. So watching an L in the Super Bowl is tough, but them getting their revenge made it all worthwhile.
Made it worthwhile. I feel like the first Super Bowl win, obviously, it just hit. I mean, it's all great.
No,
It's a
yeah,
win's a
yeah,
win,
yeah,
but
yeah.
that first, it just hit different. I lived in Philly at the time, right in Center City.
Nice.
I was pregnant at the time.
Oh,
And
wow.
let me just say this, you'll get a kick out of this. So leading up to in 2017, I told people it was about October. And I said, we're going to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And people were like, okay, you need to calm down.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, I'm telling you. I said, you want to know why? I said, because I'm going to be pregnant, which was like, it was insane in itself. And I said, I'm not going to be able to party. I'm not going to be able to enjoy.
Yeah.
And sure enough, people were like, wow. They were like, you were right. And so I didn't care.
No.
I was out with the masses. Like
You kind of had to be.
I didn't care.
Kinda had to
Out
be.
there when they won, leading
Yeah.
up, and then we won and we were out there, the parade, everything. It was amazing. It was amazing.
So rarely in life, when you daydream about something, does the daydream ever match? Like the actual reality never matches the daydream.
Very
What
true.
What made the Super Bowl so awesome was that for as much time as I sat in traffic, staring at taillights, wondering what would it be like? Am I ever going to see one? I'm going to see one before I die. What's that like? What's it like to see? Oh, I'm just trying to imagine a green glove holding up a Lombardi trophy. What's that? it exceeded expectations. Like, it was better.
I
It was
agree.
so far better
Yeah.
than everything I could have ever imagined and had imagined. It exceeded expectations. So rarely in life does that happen.
I totally agree with you,
Yeah.
and it definitely did exceed
Yeah.
expectations. I mean, I still think about. I don't know if you saw some of the different various documentaries and things
Yeah.
like maybe next year and all those kind of. I mean, brings you to tears.
Yeah.
I mean, leading up to that. I mean, being in Philly, it's such a great vibe, and
Yeah.
so I mean, we go so hard. Even like right now, it's such a great time. We got the Phillies clinched. We got hockey getting ready to start. Before
Yeah.
you know it, NBA, we got NFL. And so it's just a very exciting
It's a good time.
time.
It's a good
It's
time.
a great time.
Yeah.
I mean, who doesn't love it?
Nah.
You
No,
know?
it's Red October. Flyers start back up. We'll see where they're at. Sixers start back up. We'll see
Right,
where
we'll see
they're
where
at.
they're at.
But the number one ticket in town is always going to be the Birds. And
Absolutely.
we've got the guy, like the Jordan Brand guy. Like, when we look, how cool must it be like a Patriots fan? They're winning Super Bowls. Tom Brady's that's us now.
Yeah.
We got the guy.
Yeah.
We got the team. We got the cover of whatever we want. Madden, Sports Illustrated.
Which is super awesome, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you just
Yeah.
can't top that.
No.
Yeah, I mean, back when, that's why you got to give it to us. I mean, we already know we weren't always good. I mean, to be an Eagles fan, to be a Philly fan in general, I mean, talk about the hard knocks and the underdog, and it's that feel-good vibe of, wow, look at us now. And there's people jumping on the bandwagon. I mean,
Which is fine.
yeah, which is cool. We don't care. You want to come on over with us? It's better than Dallas, or.
But it'll always mean more to us. It'll always mean more because it's not, like, football parallels life in so many ways. And isn't it true that it's like you can't appreciate the highs unless you experience the lows?
No.
Like, that's what I thought when we won the first one. I'm like, the amount of hours that I've sat in that stadium in the sun and the cold and the snow and the rain and just having my heart ripped out. That's what makes this moment so special. And you can't appreciate it until you've gone through the hardships. Look at all these Patriots fans. Like, there's 30-year-old Patriots or 25-year-old Patriots fans that grew up just went, oh, I guess we're winning another one.
We're just a winner.
We're just winning. Oh, the Celtics won. The Bruins won. Patriots won another. And now they're having to come to terms with, like, oh, no. You have to suck for a bit. Like, this whole thing swings like a pendulum. Trust me, we'll be on the other end of it at some point, sometime too.
Exactly.
But it's funny to watch, like, Patriots fans experience all the kid with the poster. Mm-hmm. How many parades he's been to.
Yeah.
How many parades have you gone to since then? You know what I mean? So they're learning what it's like to suck up there.
Yeah.
We're learning what it's like to be winners.
Exactly. Awesome. Yeah, I mean, just like you said, the parallel, and so it's kind of that concept of, like, sports, it brings people together. Whether you have ups and downs going on in your life, I feel like sports connects people, and no matter what, people can lean on that. And it's like an outlet and things and whatnot. And the winning at life concept and kind of like, hey, we all might be from different walks of life or whatever, but at the end of the day,
oh yeah,
it always circles and connects us back to sports on some level.
And it's a unique sports city. I used to think, you see at the end of every championship, NBA championship, Milwaukee, it's for the best fans in the NFL or NBA. Really, in Milwaukee? You know what I mean? Or the Stanley Cup, these are for the best fans in the NHL. In Tampa, like, come on, give me a break here. So I always used to thought when Eagles fan, we're the best fans in the NFL. I always used to thought there was a level of fluff with that. Like, yeah, whatever. Yeah, it's like this in every city.
Right.
And then I started to travel. And then started in 2016 and then realized, like, oh no, Baltimore can't sell out their own stadium when it's the final game of the regular season at home and they're still in a playoff chase.
They're not the only ones.
Oh, Tampa can't sell out their home opener because I'm looking at a third red jerseys, a third green jerseys, and a third empty seat. Oh, we go to Arizona and we take it over because their fan base can't fill out their own. Oh, Atlanta. Oh, hello, Atlanta. Oh, LA. Oh, wow. Like, all of a sudden you start to realize, like, oh, wait a minute. Like, no, that wasn't fluff. That was the culture that we have here in Philadelphia as a sports town. Not just Eagles fans, but just a sports town. So when they say it, just know that there is a heavy layer of truth behind it.
Oh, no
Yeah,
doubt.
yeah.
No doubt.
Yeah.
I was going to ask if you traveled for the games.
This year, I'm kind of taking a year off from travel this year. I'll go to MetLife just because it's an easy
Right.
drive, and Washington.
Okay.
Just because it's a day drive. You get down there in the morning, you come right back home. You catch the last half of Sunday Night Football. But I have been traveling a lot, and it has been a very unique sort of experience. To check out the rest of the stadiums,
It's
and then
amazing.
realize that they ain't like us. They were like, for real, they're not like us.
Yeah.
It's wild. It's wild.
Yeah, that's pretty cool, though.
Yeah.
That's good for you.
Thank you.
That's awesome. So of course, predictions, and my name is Pretty Predictions.
Yeah.
And so it would only be right to discuss some predictions of the season
Sure.
and what you might think. Do you think, we're going to plow through? This is going to be a season, where we're just winning games and checking off boxes, even if they're not pretty wins, even if they're not the way we want them to be? Or what's your thought and kind of how we might move through the season?
I think for the first time in NFL history, it's a defending Super Bowl champion without back-to-back home games, and the most number of playoff teams from the prior year on our schedule. Every game, every week is going to be its own unique microcut. Nothing's going to be given to us. Nothing's going to be handed to us. Every game, buckle up, Eagles fans. Every game is going to be a knockout, drag-out fight. It's not going to be as pretty as we all hope it is. But just like you saw against Kansas City, they're tough, they're gritty, they're determined. It may not be pretty. Jalen may not have over 100 yards. AJ may not have as many touches. They might do the tush push one too many times for your liking. But all that matters, and that's what's great about this team, they're so locked into the dub. It's all that matters. It's just win. Just win.
At the end of the day,
At the end of the day,
win is a win.
they're obsessed with it.
Yeah.
And unselfishly too. It's a weird place to see a team because they're all. It's not just rhetoric. Like they're bought into that. Like 2017 was like lightning in a bottle, underdogs.
Yeah, it was unmatched.
The team was unified and everything like that.
times.
This is a different vibe. This is like it doesn't. A team full of stars, unselfishly sharing the spotlight. All that matters is the dub. That's it.
Yeah, agreed. Definitely agreed. And we got some new faces in there for sure, which is super exciting. So what might you say going forward would be your goals just for EROCK, for your brand, your business, social media, anything? What would be your goals going forward?
Don't run out of material. No, that's seriously it. It started as a passion project. It's going to end as a passion project.
Yeah.
If I'm inspired, I'm going to make content. I'm going to continue to share things that bring me happiness. I hope it resonates with people. It seems like it is. Still continue to make people laugh. Still continue to entertain. Still continue to host parties. Still continue to try to spread what has brought me so much joy and what's been such an important part of me, my identity, my upbringing, and my life, and just help share that experience. And just like the night before party, people from all across the country just meet up here and we're gonna dance and listen to great music and have a good time and take pictures and tell jokes and just all for the love of this team, this organization. Just keep that rolling.
It was so much
That's
fun.
the only goal. That's the only.
I love that. I
The
think
goal is
that's
simple.
great.
The goal is just to keep it going. That's
Yeah.
it.
Well, when you're passionate, something that we always say, on the show is like, what are you in it to win it? Or what are you passionate about?
Yeah.
And so it sounds like, you're very passionate about lots of things you do and everything else. So I think that's great. I mean, you're definitely a highlight. I love to go on social media and EROCK has another reel.
Yeah,
He's got another
appreciate
video.
that.
And
Thank
so I'm sure lots of people do. A lot of the same people follow you and everything. So I think it's very exciting. And again, people who know you, that's fine. But a lot of people who don't, I think they also wanted to know some of these questions. So
Well, I hope they enjoy I'm just a guy with an iPhone.
I
At
know.
at the end of the day, I'm just a guy with an iPhone, and I come up with a couple good ideas and throw them out on the internet. And if you're passionate about, and it doesn't matter what you're passionate about, it could be anything. But if you're passionate about it, and then you present it in a way that is honest and I think like humble in a way and
Exactly.
genuine, it'll resonate with people, and people will be attracted to that. So just keep it rolling.
Keep it rolling and
Yeah,
rocking for
yeah,
sure.
yeah.
Well, I tell you, unless there's anything that you would like to add, some piece of advice or anything for the end of the show, I really appreciate you answered a lot of questions.
Thank you.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, well,
definitely.
I appreciate having. It's so rare to actually I have my podcast on PHLY. Shout out to the Cheap Seats. Tune in to us every Wednesday at 7:00. There we go.
You
There's
heard
something
it.
to plug.
There you go.
On PHLY, streaming live on their YouTube channel. But we're talking about the birds, we're cracking jokes. It's so rare that I ever actually get to talk about me. So I thank you for the opportunity.
Yeah, I definitely wanted this to be about you. And so based on you focus, because you are the guest and the star of the show today.
Thank you very much for your time.
Same here, the In It to Win It pod on YouTube. Follow Pretty Predictions and In It to Win It pod on Instagram. And so very happy that EROCK was able to come with us today for sure. Thank you for your time and attention. And be sure to tune in for future episodes and more very exciting guests. Thank you very much.